Hello, this is my video, how I'm planning on getting back into shape. I mean, my methodology of getting back into shape. So what I do is I'm gonna go into the gym, as much as time as permits. And in the gym, I have it's a really gigantic gym, and I have you can see on my daily vlogs, you can see all the weights I do and everything, all the machines and stuff, as well as everything I do in the day. But I I, uh, I like to do. I have all of the machines. It's a giant gym, so I have all the machines listed on my phone on a Word. So I have the machine in capital, and then the different exercises, and then I would have the weight and the reps that I did the last time I was there. So when I go there, I get to the machine, and then of course I before I do the I go down linearly from the top to bottom, so I know what I've done and what I haven't done, and so I know that day, and then I know how much weight and how many what weight I did the last time I was in there. So I it's a cool way to keep track, but but I just do like one set of each machine, and then I just move to the next machine because there's so many machines. Why would you do more than one set on the same machine? You want to. So the idea is to do every single machine every day I go in there. Just go through the gamut, just do everything, one of everything. And if somebody's using one, I just skip and then I come back to it. But the important thing for the first like couple of weeks of consistent exercise, if you're hitting it from like a ground zero point where you haven't been doing any exercise, is to do what I like to call Luke Wilson lifting. I got the idea from this movie that Luke Wilson and Uma Thurman starred in called My Super Ex-Girlfriend. It's a good movie. You should check it out. But in a scene in that movie, he's there with his creepy, horny friend, and they're working out. And Luke Wilson is just kind of like, just like, talking and not really, trying. That's the kind of lifting that I think it's good to do in the very beginning, because what you're really trying to do at the very beginning of working out is you're just cleaning out the toxins from your body. When you're not exercising, you just collect a whole bunch of just old lactic acid and toxic stuff that you've been absorbing, and that just hasn't been able to flush out, and that's what makes you grumpy and makes you like angry. It gets stored in your muscles, and when you store all that stuff in your muscles, it's kind of it also stores emotions, So when you're exercising, you're stirring up all those toxins and washing them out. And I've been noticing I have to drink a whole lot of water, only I'm not even peeing a lot. So my body is just stirring up all these toxins, and it's just like, give me water to flush this stuff out. And for example, today I was trying to do the splits, not the forward splits, but the side splits, and I was holding my body up. And so, which was kind of like an isometric exercise and flexing my muscles. So I'm squeezing out toxins, and it was just a really awkward, uncomfortable feeling. And it was hard to hold my body weight up, but it wasn't just hard. It was like I was feeling just uncomfortable, like the heebie-jeebies all inside me, and it was emotional stuff. And it's just all the toxins, So that's basically what you're trying to do exercising, and you don't have to totally hardcore hammer it to get all those toxins out. You just want to get your heart rate up a little bit, move your muscles, and but you don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it, it's not fun, because all those toxins are out, and it's just not. And that's why people don't like to exercise, because they go on and they lift, and it just makes them feel uncomfortable, because all that stuff's coming to the surface. You have to feel the uncomfortableness of it before it leaves you. And so anyways, after like a couple of weeks of that, I'll be able to actually push myself. And because the idea of going to the gym, it's supposed to be fun the whole time you're there, and it's not going to be fun if you're pushing yourself, and instead of feeling like that burn, and then the endorphins and everything, you're just feeling toxins. Don't push yourself too much, because it's just going to be, you're not going to be motivated the next day to go in. The idea is to be motivated and to want to go every day. Consistency is the number one most important thing in being in shape, in training and stuff. So, after like 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks or something, or maybe 2, that's when I can start actually pushing myself, and burning, like right now, I lift until I start to feel a little bit of pain, then I stop, Oh, but I forgot to say, yeah, when I do the exercises, I'll do a weight, and then the idea is to do between 10 and 20 reps. So when I look at the weight and I see that I did 10 reps, that means that I'll just do the same weight and try to do the 10 reps. Unless I'm totally burnt out, and then maybe I'll do less weight. But if I look at it and I see that I did a weight and I did 20 reps, then I know that I need to put more weight on there. Like if I see 10 reps, it's like, okay, that's just about the limit of how heavy I can go. And then I see 20 reps, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. It wasn't enough weight. So, well, it could have been a mistake, or maybe I was able to do 20. So, so yeah, I usually just do 10. I like to do it on an even though I usually do 10, 15, or 20. If it, once I get into shape, like the ideal number of them for me would probably be 10, is what I'm going for. Like as far as performance, I'm not the kind of person who wants to train for a specific goal. I just want to go in there to thrash myself and get into shape, So it's like if I get big, fine, I think in the end of the day, my physique I can tool my physique after I get in shape, do more of this, do more of that. But yeah. So I did like the basketball for the first time today. I'm just mixing it around. Now, yeah, once I get into shape though, another thing that I use to help motivate me is I have my cell phone and I have a whole bunch of videos on there that I got from YouTube of girls being really strong, because that motivates me. If a girl can beat me, then I'm like, okay, let me do it. It's just a fun thing to do. Oh, and also when you're first starting out in the gym, whenever you get to that point, like, oh, maybe I should go home now, like I'm bored or I'm getting a little tired or whatever, instead of going home, just go to the stretch area and stretch some more. And then after a couple of minutes, you'll be charged up again to go and hit the gym again. I usually start out my exercise with about a half hour of stretching. I really want to be able to do the splits. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's like 50 and he can still do the splits. So I think once I learn how to do splits, I can keep doing the splits, and it's just going to be good for overall health, strength and avoiding injury and, being like a cat moving, like that. And so, yeah, and I also stretch. See, that's a half hour stretching, just my legs, though. And then I go over to this thing called the cage, and I stretch my upper body. I do my chests and my biceps and my trapezius and the lats are the most important ones, especially the lats. The lats always need to be stretched. And yeah, so I just kind of go back and forth to that. And I even do that when I'm like in shape and I'm working out hardcore. Like you can never do too much stretching until, of course, you've managed to do the splits. Yeah, so, but once I get into shape and I start exercising really hardcore, I'll start to just try to, continue to get bigger, stronger and stronger, and then I'll start filming myself, and then that'll be on YouTube, and then that'll make me extra motivated to try to break my record, because now I know it's on YouTube. And then compete with the girls. Like there's this one that I wanted to. This chick called Lindsay Cope, who's super hot, like totally feminine, but she picks up the 85s and overhead presses, 85-pound dumbbells 4 times without a spotter. So it's like, and I tried that. I was a little bit burnt out when I did it, but I couldn't even, do the curl part of it, because I can't curl 85 pounds with one arm. But I don't think she did either. She pushed it up with her knees and got it like to here, and then did it, which I didn't do. So I'll try that next time. But I have a whole bunch of videos like that. Like there's this thing called Bros versus Pros where they have the competitions. There's chicks who do like 100 squats with like 135 pounds or something. So just to try to do that, it's a fun way to help you get started, and and then you can surpass those girls after like a couple months of lifting, and then you kind of forget about it and you just do your own thing. But I'm not so sure I'll surpass them in everything. I don't know. We'll see. But So yeah, it's just whatever gets you in there, keeps you going. And when I was in there, I was listening to an audiobook today called Booker T. Washington about from slavery. So see, I go in there, if I have a day off, I go in there, I just spend all day in there because I need something to do while I'm listening to the audiobook. And so working out's the best thing. It's perfect multitasking. They fit together like a hand and glove. It's awesome. Like the dick in the pussy. Just whoosh, it's perfect. Listen to your audiobook and work out. I mentioned that to a couple of people actually worked at the desk. So, oh, and I also mentioned to the other trainers, I went into, oh wait, this isn't so much of a vlog. Well, it has to do with how to work out. I went in and I talked to trainers today, and they're going to give me a free hour session. And I was like, well, maybe you guys can learn something from me. And he was like, huh? And I was like, well, yeah, on my website, I have all these, like, the times of the best of all the different ages and the sexes of all the different distance in rowing. And so I can print it up and you can paste it along next to the rowers. And so people look at it and they can know, like, how they fare next to them, and they can try to, push themselves to attach to equal them. That would be cool if Strava actually includes rowing. Recently, they included inline skating and all this other stuff, but I don't think the ergometer rower. They need to include the ergometer rower but this is kind of like Strava, so you see all the things. So once I'd like to try to, break my record with the rowing, which would be real easy. All the times I did with the rowing were like when I was totally out of shape. And I'm still behind, like all the CrossFit girls can kick my ass in all the distance in the rowing. So it's cool. I like being like weak because it gives me motivation to get strong, and it's, you're not going to be there forever if you're consistent. So it's cool to be weaker than the girls. I find that sexy. It gets me off. Oh. Anyways, I have a little leak on my ceiling. So that's the weightlifting part of it. Also, there's running and there's cycling, road riding, and mountain biking. It was 36 degrees today, so on cold days I only go to the gym. And my gym also has a pool and swimming. I want to swim every day. That's really good. But as far as getting in shape for running, well, it's the same thing. Listen to the audiobook and start out easy and run, until you get injured or whatever, and then come home. Another reason you don't want to lift weights too much at the very beginning is because your muscles can be stronger than your tendons, and you can injure yourself. I actually injured myself the other day. I was in there and I was doing especially stuff involving your shoulders. The things involving your shoulders, like the bench press and the overhead press, you don't want to overcook yourself in the beginning because it's just your shoulder is something that can get injured. And I was in there the other day and I was doing all these exercises with the chest and the shoulders, and then I went over to the incline press, bench press, and I was like, how much should I do? Because I was like, I don't think I'll be able to incline bench press 135 pounds 10 times. But I decided to try to do it anyway. So I did it, and I got to 7 or whatever, and I got to the point where you can barely do it, and then I put it down on the lower rack. I think it was 8 or something. But then I noticed that I totally pulled my my tendon in my left shoulder, and I was injured. The pain was only there for 10 minutes or something, but that's not something that you want to have happen to you. You don't want any kind of pain injury like that. It's just that's too much. So part of the Luke Wilson lifting, Wilson, you have to do it like Wilson at the beginning, is that you're getting the toxins out, you're strengthening up the muscles, you're strengthening up the tendons, and you're getting them warmed up for next week when you hit it. And when you start to hammer, you'll know it. The moment will be there when you're like, all right, let's do it. Now we're there. Dun, 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 dun. And then maybe you can go in one day and listen to a bunch of music and just hammer it out. And then you can try to kind of build on that and keep it going. As far as cycling, getting to shape for the cycling, same thing. Take it easy at the very beginning. Don't push it at all. Just have fun, because if you push it too hard, you're going to get those toxins out. It's going to be uncomfortable and you'll be less motivated. You need to equate the exercise with fun. And so if you do it, you take it easy at the beginning and you just listen to the audiobook and it's fun, And Yeah, so, yeah, I wish that people on YouTube would like upload themselves working out more so that you could just know how strong everybody is and have people to compete with and help push, just like with Strava with weightlifting. When's that ever going to happen? So yeah, I'm going to start doing videos. They said I can film myself in there too, so that's cool. That's the only gym that I has ever said that, so. Anyways, that's basically my methodology of getting back in shape. That's all I can think of right now. Peace out.